All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Steve, of course, with NVIDIA, with Newegg TV.
Hey, welcome to the team,
Hey,
Steve.
thank you very much. I appreciate it, Will. Of course, this is Will Park from NVIDIA here joining us today to do a live FAQ and a Q&A, actually, I should say.
Q&A on SHIELD, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of a demonstration I think we have in store for everybody. How you doing?
Doing well. Glad to be back. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Okay. I'm sure you guys noticed already. We gave you guys a little peek into what was happening a couple seconds before we were ready to go live. We'll thank the back control room for that.
A peek behind the curtain.
That's right. So now we both, of course, know a bit about the SHIELD. So I've talked to you before. We've talked about the SHIELD in depth before.
I'm quite familiar with SHIELD, yes.
I would imagine you would be. That aside, we actually wanted to try and find somebody that wasn't as familiar with the SHIELD, so I thought it might be a good idea to bring Kyle here on the show. Of course, you guys have seen him before. Kyle, why don't you come around and say hi?
Why don't I? How's it going, guys?
Kyle.
Hey, everybody. I don't even know what that thing is. What is that? It looks awesome.
Fantastic. Okay. Well, Will, what do you want to start with? I mean, I know there's going to be some dying questions out there, but is there anything you want to kind of show people about it before we get started? Kind of give some familiarity to those who don't already know about the SHIELD?
Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. So,
Okay.
Why don't I just talk about SHIELD just kind of generally, Okay. So it's obviously our first consumer gaming product. We're traditionally known for obviously our graphical chops, right? We have our GeForce cards and our Tegra chips. So we parlayed that expertise into graphics and our expertise on graphics and chip making into a device powered by Tegra 4, which is the latest mobile chipset that we make. And decided to bridge the gap between Android and PC gaming. So now we have SHIELD, and that's what it looks like right there. I'll turn it around for you guys. So what we did was we basically mated this 5-screen HD retinal quality touchscreen. You can see it's a touchscreen because I can swipe around on that. To a console-grade game controller, which is what you see here. Pretty familiar controls. You have your D-pad here, your A, B, X, Y buttons here. Of course, your joysticks, which are both the dual analog joysticks, and they're both clickable. And on the back, we have bumpers right here. We got 2 triggers right here, and a whole bunch of ports. We're actually plugged into micro USB for power and mini HDMI to output to a TV. There's also a micro SD card slot and a headphone jack there. So we created this device to basically
Charger real quick.
to do a few things, right? As a gaming device, we wanted it to run Android games, the next generation of Android games that feature, more enhanced graphics and richer gameplay, right? On top of that, we optimized those new generation of Android games to run better on Tegra. So they have even higher textures, higher frame rates, new dynamic lighting, all that kind of good stuff. The second thing we wanted to make sure it does was provide entertainment. So outside of gaming, you can obviously read your books, you can watch your movies, listen to music on these stereo integrated bass reflex speakers, right? And the third thing we wanted to make sure it did was to give our traditional PC gamer fans, our audience, a portable gaming device that didn't compromise on the graphical quality that you expect from PC gaming, right? So you have TXAA, super high anti-aliasing technologies, incredible physics effects, PhysX, right? NVIDIA PhysX. Right. We wanted to bring all that to a portable. It's not possible to do that, processing natively on a small device like this, but what we did was we created some technology that links up to your PC and will actually, run the game from your PC but stream it straight to SHIELD with minimal latency. So round trip is, and actually that's a good segue. I think I saw a question I think on your Facebook page that asked, what is the latency between SHIELD and PC when you're doing PC streaming?
It's actually one of the questions right now. I think it's Missless Mouse is asking this particular question.
Missless Mouse? Okay, Missless Mouse. So the latency on SHIELD to PC is sub 100 millisecond. We're targeting 50 to 75 milliseconds, 75 on the high end. To put that into perspective for you, something like a traditional console that you may be familiar with, made by a certain big company in Redmond, it usually exhibits about 100 millisecond round trip time between controller to console to TV. So we're targeting latency that's below your traditional console.
Okay,
hopefully that answered the question.
Also, Emilio23 asks, why did you guys go with the Android operating system while more games would be on iOS?
You know, that's actually a great question. So one of the things we wanted to make sure that Shield accomplished was to embrace the developer community. We made Shield an open platform. So we did that to, and one of the reasons one of the ways to do that was with the Android operating system. It's an open operating system, right? We didn't put a skin on top, which delays, OS updates and, makes it harder to be compatible, harder for developers to develop for it. So we made it an open operating system. We used an open operating system. We didn't skin it with the hopes that developers would come to develop for Shield and do crazy things that we never even, anticipated. Right now we can control a drone, but what happens if you want to control some other cool things, some other robots down the line? It's a lot harder to do that on iOS than it is on Android. So in a very long answer to a short question, that's why we went with Android.
Okay, fantastic.
And the Android logo is also green.
The Android logo is green.
It's a beautiful marriage.
NVIDIA green, great.
Good point, Kyle.
That's a great point, Kyle.
That's why I'm here.
Kraken1 has a quick question. He says, is it eventually going to be possible to stream PC games from various Wi-Fi networks other than the one in your home, i.e. the local coffee shop or friend's house?
That's a great question right now. So, first I should mention that we're launching the PC game streaming feature in beta phase. We're doing that to ensure that we can deliver the highest level of performance for the games that we're launching with for PC game streaming. We just want to make sure that, if we're going to put, the official NVIDIA marker on it, that it has top-notch performance, right? So and I totally lost where I was going with that. Oh, right. So
keep going, Will. You got this.
So he was asking why. Refresh me again with the question.
That's the best part about this is I just happen to have to Control Z to bring it back up again. He just wants to know if you'll be able to play it from the internet.
Right. So right now, it's only working on your home Wi-Fi network. And we can't really speak to our future plans that haven't been announced, but what I can tell you is that we've been publicly demoing a new NVIDIA technology called NVIDIA Grid. And what NVIDIA Grid is, it's a cloud gaming system. We have a whole bunch of servers packed with GPUs that are running games at really high graphical quality, and we stream those over the internet, over just whatever service you guys use, and stream that to thin clients like MacBooks, which typically don't run those high-end games, right?
Or even TVs.
Or TVs, or tablets, and even Shield. We demoed Grid going to Shield, so I'll put that out there. I'll let you guys make the connection.
Connect the dots really quickly.
Yeah.
One completely off-topic question. One person asked, "Why is there a Mac on this desk?"
That's a great question. I don't know how this got here. This isn't even my computer.
It's there so we can destroy it.
It's actually it's not a Mac. This is just it's all magic right here. Yeah,
it's a PC inside.
It's a shell. Yeah.
It's actually a Raspberry Pi in there.
Perfect. Powered by Project Logan. Just kidding. I think I might get in trouble for that one.
By the way, just so everybody knows, we've been now talking about the Shield. If you guys are just joining us, we're basically doing a quick Q&A, and any kind of questions you guys want to throw at us, go ahead and throw them in the Twitch chat. We'll be happy to answer that for you. Will here, he's from NVIDIA, of course. Will Park, if you haven't already recognized him from their YouTube channel, and he does have a Mac laptop that he's trying to disguise from everybody. I should say, I'm going to slaughter this name, Alandrian asks, how will we enable the HDMI display 1080p rather than just 720p? And I believe that's actually a mistake, right? It's the screen itself that's 720p. The output can go up to 4K.
Yeah, right. So there are a couple different answers to that, or a couple different parts that I'm going to need to answer it in. So first, yes, Shield is powered by Tegra 4. Tegra 4 is capable of outputting video up to 4K. So theoretically, if you have 4K TV, you can do that. Right now, with the current software, we are outputting only 720p, but with an OTA that we have planned, actually the OTA might have already gone live, that enables 1080p streaming. So 1080p HDMI out to a TV or a monitor.
Okay.
So I guess the short answer is it does output in 1080p.
Okay.
Yep.
So hold on. If you were
Please.
streaming a PC game directly from your PC, of course, you could stream it onto there and then via HDMI play it on your big screen TV in the living room, for example.
That's right.
And this is also including, this isn't limited to like, this doesn't exclude all of the filtering, like the anisotropic filtering, TXAA, all that stuff is still there.
It's all there because so what's going on is your PC is crunching all the data, all the numbers for the game to run, and all it's doing is it's outputting the stream, the visual, the display to Shield. And then when you connect this to a TV, you're just outputting that same visual stream.
Yeah, the
Tell me
PC's
more,
painting
Will.
the picture.
So yeah, you get everything, man. You get TXAA, you get PhysX, you get all the stuff that you can only get on high-end gaming PCs. You get it on this little guy, or put it onto a TV or a monitor, and same experience.
I should actually
not watered
mention-
down at all.
I should completely mention
exactly.
this too.
Awesome.
We are actually using it to an Intensity Pro, and it's currently capturing everything you see on the screen. I'm sure at some point our producer is going to put it up on the screen just to show you guys. But yeah, basically we are outputting it directly to our capture card and then streaming it directly to you guys. So great question from Eladrian.
Adrian, thank you.
Yes.
That's a great question.
1,000 feet above, 1K feet above, asks, will the Shield support 1080p in the future, which has pretty much already just been answered right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Okay. Yes, that was a quick one. Mission Code asks the capacity of the Shield, the SD card slot, HSD. I believe it's
actually micro SD XC. XC stands for extra capacity, right? So it used to be high capacity, and that was limited to 32 gigs. That was the theoretical maximum for the previous format. The new format, micro SD XC, has a theoretical limit of 2 terabytes, and we support XC, micro SD XC. You're not going to find a 2 terabyte card out there right now.
Right.
Maybe in a lab somewhere. I think the highest you can get right now is like 128 gigs, but that costs as much as a laptop. So yeah.
Not really worth it at
right,
that
right.
price.
And I think the common XC format size is 64 gigs. So,
Right.
yeah.
So you can safely get 64 extra gigabytes.
You can get 64 extra gigs. Just a note, the new format XC does not come formatted. That's just how they come from the factory. So those cards you actually have to put into your PC in format before you use it on Shield. So don't just plug it into Shield and think, oh, it's not detecting it. There's a problem with my Shield.
Okay.
You got to format that card first.
Interesting note.
Yeah.
Also, how much storage space does it already come with?
Oh yeah, so this guy has 16 gigs on board. Installing everything, 16 gigs, and of course the expandable memory for your media, video, photos, music, all that good stuff.
Cool.
Yep.
Excellent. All right. Well, XX Gamer X123XX asks, will it be able to play higher end games like GTA 5 when it comes out?
I mean, I can't really speak to games that aren't out right now, but as long as if it has controller support, yeah, very, very high likelihood.
Okay.
If you're delivering that through Steam, should be fine.
Okay, cool. Prime Paladin asks, is the Shield capable of playing PC non-Android level games independent of the PC? So basically, what's the most powerful software you could throw on there that a PC would run?
Not quite. So the most powerful.
Well, like let's say we pick Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, for instance, an older title. Would it be able to run that on its own? It has the hardware, Tegra 4 chip. Does it have the hardware to run that?
Yeah. So that's a completely different question. Can the hardware run it? Probably.
Okay.
The older games. As far as I know, it's not available on Android, so that would be kind of an issue.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to answer that one.
Okay. So right now, it's we're not sure. It would depend, and it would depend on the particular Android software in general before you can. answer.
Yeah. I mean, it only runs Android, right? You're never running a PC game natively on this guy. So if they're asking if we can run an older PC title natively on this platform, well, if they ported it to Android, yes, sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Cool. All right.
Actually, that's a good segue into another point. There are a lot of games, older console games, that have been ported to Android.
Right.
And we actually preloaded one of those guys right on here, and that's Sonic, right? Sonic 4 Episode 2.
Right.
And the version we have is a Tegra optimized version, which actually looks better than the console version.
Oh.
I'm not talking about the old console version. I'm talking about the newer console version. So yeah, totally possible. The hardware can do it.
Okay. Excellent. Mr. Twisted Sex. Oh, yeah.
Oh, live TV.
Yeah, that's
You're
my
fired.
bad. Mr. Twisted 6 asks, will there be bigger screens available in the future?
I really can't comment on unannounced products.
I can, yes. No, I'm just kidding. No, I don't know. Yeah. Actually, it's a good point. Kyle, why don't you grab one of these and just show them a couple games? I mean, I don't know what we have loaded up on it yet. Yeah.
There you go, sir.
Drooling over there this whole time.
I'll be right back.
But yeah.
Right.
Stolen.
Let's see what I can find on here. Do you know if GTA's on here?
GTA may be loaded up on there.
What
you know what I would do is I would use the bumpers to navigate the Android. Yep.
That is smooth.
The bumpers, not
Oh, the bumpers. Oh
Yep.
my gosh, I didn't even realize there were buttons there.
Bumpers.
We got triggers, we got bumpers, we got everything, man.
This is too much.
All console grade controller buttons, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Really good tactile feedback, nice and responsive. The click feel is just, that's one of the things, right? Our DNA is gaming, so we know how important that is. So we focused a lot on the controller to make sure that it would appease the gamer in us, right?
Right.
So.
Well, while he's doing that, let me just look at a couple more questions, just try and get through them. 'Cause there are
Sure.
quite a few. Tiger0629 asks, how much onboard video RAM does it have? So how much RAM does this particular SoC have in it?
So the RAM number is actually, I believe, I don't want to say the wrong thing, so let me just
So you'll look that up real
let me
quick?
just look that up
Okay,
real
let me
quick.
see if
Oh
I
yeah,
get another one.
I knew I was right.
Okay.
It was so it's 2 gigs, right? And the RAM's running at 1800 megahertz, so 1.8 gigahertz.
1800 mega transfers per second?
Mega transfers per second,
That's
and
the way Paul likes to tell me, because I'm like, megahertz. He's like, well, let's be specific about that. I'm kidding, Paul. He's behind the camera right now giving me the eye.
the snake eye. He didn't ask this question, but the Tegra 4 processor is actually clocked at 1.9 gigahertz as well. So
Okay, perfect.
FYI.
Crimson Sun Bear asks, is the Shield compatible with PC streamed indie games?
PC streamed indie games that are not available on Steam. Is that, I guess that?
Well,
would be
no, stream PC. Damn it, let me go backwards.
Well, so maybe
always
one way
delete
to
'em.
clarify that would be at launch
Actually, it doesn't say.
we're supporting Steam games, right? Steam games with controller support built in. But at launch, like I said, we want to make sure that anything we put our brand on is top notch. So we're only officially supporting a subset of those Steam games.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't see why not.
Okay. So essentially, there could be, like a Don't Starve or something like that, some indie game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. So we just haven't certified them right now.
Okay.
Down the line, I'm sure that's going to happen.
Perfect. Mr. Crackers Man asks, can I text my friends from the Shield?
Oh yeah, totally. That's a great question. So there are a whole bunch of different ways to do that. Well, it depends what you mean by text. If you're doing SMS, I mean, it doesn't have cellular connectivity, so you can't really do SMS, quote unquote. But I mean, if it's like Google Voice, if it's WhatsApp, if it's, I don't know,
Pretty much any
Snapchat.
Droid-based app that's going to do some kind of SMS.
Exactly. Any
internally.
messaging app, you're good to go as long as it uses data, right? Instead of your cell network. And you do that in a few different ways. You can tap right on the screen with the keyboard on screen because it's a touch screen. You can use the mouse cursor mode on the joystick to select keys, or you can use the D-pad to move around the keyboard.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did actually experiment a little bit with that. It's not really texting per se, but I use Voxer. So
Voxer?
Yeah, that's awesome. It also has a microphone built into it.
Yep.
And it has the single slot 3.5 millimeter plug, so you can use like a iPhone earphones or there's a couple of different headsets that have that. But you basically could use that and essentially use it as a communication device. So.
And if you got a headset, with an inline mic, the headphone jack actually supports that headset as well. So you can either use the speakers and the onboard mic to just talk out loud, and or you could plug in your headset and do it privately.
Okay.
Yeah, using your
Nice.
headset's microphone, basically.
Right, exactly.
Yep.
Okay. One more thing I do want to mention. We are another 10 minutes in and want to make a quick
10 minutes
announcement one more time that we are here with Will Park from NVIDIA, and essentially we're doing a Q&A about the Shield. So if you have any questions or concerns or exclamations to make, go ahead and do that in the Twitch chat, and we'll be sure to answer any and all questions that you have. So.
any and all relevant questions.
Yes. Well, the Mac question was relevant.
That was relevant, sure.
Cyan23 asks, when is the patch to enable SD card installs going to be released?
So we're pushing out over-the-air updates to Shield all the time, and that is on the roadmap, and that'll be very near future. Before. I don't want to put myself in a hole here, but I mean within months. A couple months. Yeah, a couple months.
Pizza Belly Zero wants to know, can it play emulators?
Yeah, so because it's an Android device, you have full access to all Android apps, including those emulators, right? So it'll run emulators, no problem. Now, you want to make sure that you have the legal right to run any ROMs on those emulators. So you want to make sure you actually own that game before you download that ROM and run it on an emulator. But sure, if you own that game, you download that ROM and you run it on an emulator, good to go. And it's integrated with, it'll work with Shield controls. So it's kind of taking a new gen twist to your old games. So I think that's kind of cool. Like playing, I used to play Super Contra all the time, right?
Super Contra, most frustrating game ever for me.
Yeah,
you have to
I
get
love
Super
it though.
Spread though.
Well, yeah, exactly. No, you just need the code, and then you have God mode, right?
Yeah, up, down, left.
Yeah,
left,
exactly. Right, and then you use the controls on Shield to put the Konami code in, and it's
a little easier.
A little easier, yeah. Metroid, man, back in the day. But yeah, I played all those, and it's a lot of fun.
Awesome. All right. Goat Job asks, will it be available in Europe later this year? If not, will it work fine if I choose to import it?
So we're rolling out. We're launching only in U.S. and Canada right now. So that's going to be my answer.
That's the bottom line right now. So the official answer is
if you're asking about the future, no comment. If you're asking right now, it's not available in the U.S.
Okay.
I mean, in Europe.
Just not available in the U.S. Yeah. Damn it. Con1NN asks, will it be possible to use Steam Big Picture on NVIDIA Shield?
Oh yeah, totally, man. So I mean, that's the whole point, right? So maybe we can. Maybe we can try to show that actually.
Okay.
Or actually, we should show some gaming first. Kyle's been over here. It's been a little quiet over here. I've been wondering why.
I honestly haven't been listening to anything you guys have been saying. I'm destroying an entire village right now.
Yeah, man.
With my fists.
You're rocking out on the conduit over there.
Yes, I am. This is pretty smooth, man.
What are you playing? I can't see it.
It's a first-person shooter, and it's actually kind of strange to me right now because I've never played a first-person shooter with two full joysticks before.
Yeah.
And I've done the PSP thing, I've done DS, and this is just completely,
of course, mouse,
way more intuitive for me. Especially even coming from as a console gamer and a PC gamer, it's pretty sweet.
Cool. I'm glad you think so. Yeah, the joysticks feel real good, right? I mean,
they do.
They've
got some indentation in it, a little bit of grip. It's
the little dots on them to help you keep your awareness on there.
Yeah, and I get sweaty easily, so you'll forgive me if I don't get this back to you.
And that's right. In Taiwan, I heard you were just a big pool.
I was.
Might have to leave that shield here now. I'm sure that sucks for you guys.
That's right.
So maybe in a little bit we'll show some, or did you want to try and show the big picture now?
Sure. Why don't we jump right into it?
I wasn't sure if Kyle was going to hand it over.
Just end my game. It's cool, man.
So just to be clear, what we're doing is this is not outputting to the display, right?
Nope.
So this is not related to what you're seeing there. We're connected to the computer over Wi-Fi. We have a local Wi-Fi connection, and we have GeForce Experience running. So maybe I'll just show that actually. We did just update the game here, so let's hope that works. Oh, it's good.
Do you want me to start it?
No, let's keep that paused.
Okay. Oh, it's paused.
Yeah,
go for it.
Good enough. But so the way you launch your Steam games on Shield is you're going to push that middle button. That's your that's actually we call it the Shield multifunction button. It serves as the power button. It serves as the Tegra Zone button, right?
Okay.
Does PC streaming. Yeah. So when you hit that, what you're going to do, it's going to launch you into the Shield app here. And I'm just going to use the bumpers to kind of navigate around. It shows you your Shield games, which are your Android games optimized for Tegra. It's got the Shield Store, which is all of those Android games that we curate for you that you're going to have a really good experience on. And it's even got your PC games. So if I actually back up here, what you'll see is on the PC games, Okay, yeah, so this is the list. So we can open up Steam Big Picture directly just right here by tapping that, but the software, GeForce Experience, that's running on the PC back there, actually tells Shield, yep, you'll see that, yep, exactly right there. That's telling Shield what games you get, what Steam games are in the library here. Now, when I go back to Shield over here, and I can interact with this in a few different ways, I can scroll around, I can use my joystick, and I can even use my D-pad. It's kind of hard doing this upside down. I'm just going to launch a game, and let's see what happens. I think this will kind of answer that question. So we should probably be on. Let's get both of them on the screen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I threw something in the background where probably our producer will be popping up an overlay that shows this, and whatever he's looking at, it'll just show it in the bottom corner.
Okay, cool. So maybe first thing. That's one way to do it.
Yeah.
He can switch to that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so it shows it live, whatever you see here, at the same time you see it there. So it's even-
gotcha. So I'm just going to fire up Call of Duty here.
I just got a gift.
Oh, awesome.
That's awesome.
Good for
so
you.
someone's like trying to troll me by giving me a gift and Paul is dying of laughter in the background right now, trying to keep it calm. This is great. That's the best troll ever, whoever did that.
Yeah, good.
Don't you dare send me any AAA titles right after that.
Is it, I think it's hanging here.
I think I messed you up when I tried to. Oh, Darksiders is installing. That's my bad.
Okay.
I probably started that. So
We probably want to.
I'll let you do whatever you need to do there.
Okay.
And I can grab
Let me kick it out. Let's stop the download just so we
Yeah.
can run
Yeah.
it through. Yep, I'm out now.
You good? Okay.
Yep.
Cool. And it's still preparing, so I'm just going to close that. Pause everything. Oh my God, I have 10 million things trying to download right now. Everything else?
10 million?
Good?
Really?
Good?
That many?
Is that- well, I mean, if I'm going to be specific, I might as well pick a big number, right? Because then stop it, everything.
Oh wow, it's all updating.
Well, I got a couple games.
Who needs a
and then-
troll when you troll yourself?
Yeah. That was like the, any other games I have on here? I think that's everything. Good to go.
Cool. Okay, so let's try that again. So I'm going to go back.
I wish you guys could see what I see from my perspective right now. Okay.
This is live, folks. This is what happens.
This is
live.
how things go down.
How we roll.
Oh wait, we're probably going to want to get that out of the screen as well.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Usually trolls don't give you gifts.
They only give you gifts when you're looking at their screen live.
And let's get rid of. I don't know. I think the download screen keeps on. Might be
Inhibiting it?
Yeah, it might be messing us up a little
Let me
bit.
go to the store then, maybe. That's where I usually go.
Or I mean, let's close out of it
Can you do
altogether.
offline mode?
There you go.
Okay, so let me try this one more time.
When did we get that background? Did you put that background on there?
It's always been there, Steve.
It is not, because I helped to set that. Well, Paul did the majority of the work.
That's how
I
the
just
monitor
pointed
came,
and
actually.
clicked. We have the
There we go.
our.
So now it's launching.
Go ahead. I'll let you carry it away. Preparing. Why are you always preparing? Just go. Just go.
Yeah. Launch. Preparing to launch. Just launch.
So I was going to say before, what you're seeing on the screen right here is the actual PC that we're using to stream from it, and it's our D-frame in-wind case that Paul showed off a little while ago. It's the orange framed case that we use for test bedding, and essentially we have what's the video card? A GTX 780 in it, and Paul, I'm gonna help you.
780.
Yes, 780. I already got that.
Rampage 4 formula.
Rampage 4 formula, and the 30. What is it?
3970.
3970X inside of that, and I think we have 16 gigs of RAM, right?
16 gigs
Yeah.
G-Skill memory.
Thank you. G
In other words, sick.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. So it's just, and it's so quiet. It's just right there, and a Rosewill Hercules 1600 watt power supply too to boot. Very
Nice.
heavy.
You know, part of the problem here might be the file sync. It's
It's
the
trying to
file-
use the cloud.
Yeah,
I can
it's
see it
trying to-
popping up.
Let me
now.
try a different game. I think it's
Okay.
just the updates on Call of Duty is just.
I'm
little
ruining the show with
problematic.
my inherent FPS playing of Call of
Oh,
Duty.
no worries, man.
Yeah.
These things happen when it's live.
Yeah,
But
okay.
here, while I try to get this going, maybe we can do another question.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good idea. Okay, so Major Elites asks, will there be custom Shield tags available from NVIDIA, or will we be able to design our own? In other words, I think I mentioned this in
I want to
one
know
of the
who
videos.
asked that question because that's an interesting question.
Major Elites.
Major
Sorry,
Elites, okay.
Friend of yours?
Well, okay, let me answer the first part of that question.
Just show them what we're talking about here, too.
Exactly. So if we turn it around, that's a tag.
Yeah.
That's what we're
Removable
calling
tags.
tags.
Yeah.
They're magnetized, so if you just slap it on there, it'll just go right on. And they come off real easily, and you don't have to just push it right there, and the magnet should just grab it and take it. Oops.
And when you're done with it, you can put it on the fridge and hold up your high scores.
There you go.
That you printed out.
Yeah, exactly. So you see how they work? So yeah, they're removable. They're removable. We do have optional custom tags. There's one in glossy black. It ships with the silver one. You get there's an optional glossy black one and an optional carbon fiber to look one. As far as designing your own shields, that's an interesting question. I'm gonna ask that reader to stay tuned.
To stay tuned.
Yeah.
Because I would love it to just be able to
Wouldn't that
take
be
it to
cool?
to your nearby, creative artist, and he just goes at it with an airbrush,
Well, oh no, of course. I mean, if you take your own shield and you take it to like a tattoo guy or an airbrusher, and he does it for sure. But
okay,
I thought the guy was asking if we're gonna
twofold questions.
Right, right.
Will NVIDIA allow them to customize it, and will he be able to do it himself?
Right. So if you do it yourself, sure. It's. I mean, you're just working with plastic material, right? So if you can work with that and print on there, you're good to go.
Okay.
As far as NVIDIA producing custom designs that are outside of that glossy black and the carbon fiber look I talked about, stay tuned.
Stay tuned on that. Okay. All right. Well, Lorenzo Ortiz asks, how long will the battery last? And that's actually a really good question.
That's a great question. Let me preface it with this, right? So we have basically high-end phones. How long do you? Whoa!
No, not like that.
Oh, I don't know. Okay, wait, that's what my
horrifying.
mind's at. I don't know, man. Never mind.
Kyle,
Reset.
the first time I've ever heard him be quiet.
I had nothing to do with this.
Let's put that reset button. Okay, so reset. The answer to it that is so basically you have mobile guts in here, and think of a phone or a tablet, how slim and how small those are. And this has a lot more space on the inside. So what we did was we put a gigantic battery in there, a couple gigantic batteries, and basically that allows you to run Android games for about the high-end Android games, the Tegra optimized Android games, for about 4 to 5 hours. When you're doing stuff like just using the Android operating system, maybe you're just watching a movie,
Right. HD movie or something.
HD movie, you're going to get 10, maybe even more hours out of it of continuous use. And that's because Tegra 4 has this fifth battery saver core that we call it.
Okay.
And what that allows you to do is when you're doing more simple tasks, even HD video is considered a simple task, right?
Okay.
HD video, music, web browsing, reading a book, doing email, you're only using that battery saver core. So that's why the time between the uptime between Android games and streaming a movie is going to be completely different, or watching an HD movie is completely different, right? Because it turns out an Android game is going to be a lot more graphically intense, so it's going to use the GPU, so it's going to burn more power.
Right.
But I mean, 4 to 5 hours of continuous gaming, I think that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, no, it definitely is.
Yep.
Yeah, especially if you're going to watch something for like 10 hours or so.
Oh, totally.
Want to ask a couple more questions here. We've got Iron Maiden Ltd. He's asking, will there be games dedicated to the Shield? So just developers making games just for the Shield.
That's a developer call. Right now, the tack we're taking is we're actually going to the developers who are making Android games and helping them optimize those games with stuff like I said before. I'll say it again. Higher textures, extra bonus levels. But let's stay on the technical side. Stuff like particle physics, ragdoll physics, right? Volumetric effects, dynamic lighting, shadows. I mentioned the textures. We help those developers build all that into games optimized for our Tegra processor to take advantage of all that extra horsepower in there that maybe the regular version of the Android game wouldn't take advantage of, right? Because the regular Android games have to cater across the board to all different kinds of hardware. So when we can optimize it for Tegra, we can kind of shoot for the stars.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's right now we're taking the optimized model, but I mean, if a developer wants to develop only for Shield, we're courting developers actually. So
Okay.
yeah, you want to find more info? That would probably be you want to go to NVIDIA's Dev Zone. That's the place to find more info on there.
The bleeding edge.
The bleeding edge, absolutely.
Okay. Gumby 8888 asks, and a really poignant question actually, does the Shield have any USB ports for my mouse and keyboard? Now that's a loaded question, right? Because most of us who are PC gamers, we grew up on a mouse and keyboard. It's the console generation that goes more for controllers.
Right.
I will use a console controller for racing games, for some third-person shooters. It just depends on the mood and what I'm feeling like.
Sure.
Obviously, if I was laying down on the couch or something, I wouldn't have room for a keyboard and mouse, but the simple fact remains, if I did and someone wants to jump on and sit at my desk to do something else and I want to get away or I'm somewhere else with it,
Sure.
I know that there isn't any physical place to do that, but is there any way to do it like a Bluetooth wireless type deal?
Yeah, totally. Bluetooth mouse, Bluetooth keyboard, Bluetooth anything.
Okay.
You're going to be able to attach to here. But actually, yeah, there's no full-size USB port. There's no PS2 port. Who uses PS2 ports though? But I mean, like, there's a micro USB port back there.
Okay.
And so if you have adapters on a USB, say a USB flash drive or a USB mouse, if you can get an adapter to make that fit into a micro USB port, then it'll work as well.
Wow.
So yeah,
Okay.
flash drives, yeah, stuff like that. Mouse,
I didn't
yeah.
know that. That's
totally.
actually
yeah,
really
but
cool.
Bluetooth is probably the way to go.
Yeah, easier, less
Yep.
problems.
I mean, you got a portable device. You're not going to want to carry around a mouse with the cable on it.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
yeah, no. I mean,
I love
totally.
my gaming mouse, and that has a cable on it. So
All right, Mr. Crackerman asks, is the refresh rate of the Shield screen 60 hertz? Could I possibly even overclock the refresh rate of the actual PC getting more frames per second than the refresh rate? Because I guess it's because it's streaming it, so it's almost like a movie being sent to this, right?
Right. So he's asking if he can overclock the frame rates on his PC. Will that also stream, like, say, 90 frames to Shield?
Well, I think what he's saying is he's asking about the refresh rate of the Shield. First, the refresh rate here is 60 hertz, right? Okay. So he wants to know, could it be possible to overclock the refresh rate if the actual PC was getting more frames per second than the refresh rate? So
That's an interesting question. I'm not sure how to answer that. Right now, I'm pretty sure we're optimized for 60 frames. So.
Okay.
I'd want to say no, but I can't give you a definitive answer on that one.
So yeah, so bottom line is we don't know whether or not in the pipeline, if the GTX 770 card, 780 card that's in there right now, if it's encoding at what rate it would encode at if we overclocked it or not. Like it wouldn't necessarily send out more frames because of that, right? It might be more responsive, but we don't actually know how quickly it would view on this faster than 60 hertz.
Yeah, exactly. So I haven't personally seen anything like that, so I can't really speak to it. But yeah, that's an interesting question.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna sidestep that one.
Okay. Let's do some PC gaming.
Cool.
Can we do that? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Kyle,
So
our man in black.
I thought you'd never ask.
so let's see if this works, man. So first of all, what I did was let me go into the app. Alrighty, and I'm gonna connect to the computer. And I think, so Call of Duty was giving us problems with file sync, with updates and stuff like that. Let's see if another game, did the Metro update finish?
No, not yet. Yeah. I tried to throw a bunch of games in there, but sort of ran short on time.
I think My Little Pony is
My Little
all
Pony,
prepped.
nice.
That's totally downloaded.
Everybody's playing that. Candy Crush? What?
Candy Crush, what? So if you, I mean, the whole reason we're doing this was because there was that one question about Steam Big Picture, right? Yeah. So I wanted to show that through a game being launched, but we had some update file issues. So what you're seeing now is actually, yeah, you got
Big Picture.
You got Big Picture right here on the screen. So what I did was,
oh yeah, look at that.
yeah, exactly. So if I, here, I'll show you what that looks like.
Kyle, don't look. This is not for you.
Too late.
Oh, you're watching it on the monitor.
So I'm going to kick out of that and just do it again. Since we're on the screen here, I'm going to restart that process. So I don't know, actually, if we can show this screen right here. Yeah, exactly. So what I did before was I tried to launch this game. The files weren't there, so we couldn't launch it. But since the question was Steam Big Picture, there is the option to just launch that right there. And it's going to launch Steam, and then basically what you see on the Shield display is what you're going to see on the monitor. It's 1-to-1 right now.
I'm not really sure which games I have installed either, too. Which ones do you want to try and do? Oh, it's got a little notification up there.
Yep. So, I'm not sure which one we want to try to use.
Because I don't really mess with Big Picture much, so I can't tell what's installed at this point.
Sure. Well, I mean, the thing is, it's going to depend on what's in the library and what's updated, I guess.
Okay.
I mean,
just fish through
should
it
I just
quick.
try to launch this one?
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, you can do whatever you want. I was just saying if you want to try and see what else is there, go like...
Okay. Well, let's just see if this multiplayer...
multiplayer should have worked.
It should have worked, right?
Yeah.
Let's see if it works.
That's the only one you haven't tried yet. Maybe Kyle can get smoked under my name.
Just ruin your KD ratio.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It's not... I'm horrible, dude. I have like my typical game is like 30-20.
It's better than mine.
There we go.
But I have a lot of fun, so I'm trying, I guess.
That's all that matters, right?
That's right.
It doesn't matter if you're dying a lot, you'll still have fun.
Doesn't matter.
once in a
I
while.
killed our entire team, and
That's not
everybody
true.
was depending on me. But that's okay.
So there we go. So now we're launched.
Okay, cool.
I don't know why I wasn't doing this before. Oh, because we're multiplayer now. I didn't do multiplayer.
You didn't. That's the
before.
only one you didn't.
Yeah,
try.
exactly.
Who
Go
plays
figure.
single player? Pfft,
Yeah, come
play
on.
multiplayer. Oh wait,
So-
let's try it. Yeah, let's launch it. Let's do this.
Do I want to do online or do I want to do campaign?
Yeah, do it.
Online? Do it.
Yeah, I don't
Cool.
care. Yeah, Roger that.
Right,
Double XP.
that.
What? This weekend? Oh, I missed that.
Let's go to a public match.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
okay,
dude, do it.
sure.
Yeah. Hardcore for sure. And kill confirmed is always fun.
Okay, go confirm.
Yeah.
Well,
I
I
don't
don't,
know who's
think I'm going to
playing
be
right
doing much playing upside down on Shield right now. But
Oh no, they can see this.
Oh, they can see this?
Yeah, there's a little overlay.
Oh no,
right now.
but I'm saying I don't know if I can. Okay, I might as well pick it up.
do,
Yeah.
do this.
Nice.
Kyle's like over here in the corner.
And actually, you know what would be cool is if you can show the screen and me at the same time. You know, we'll show that the
lag.
yeah, exactly. That you know the round trip time there. Oh no, I need inverted. Oh no, I need inverted. I should have inverted my controls.
Shooting at the
I'm gonna
ground.
try playing this.
How do you
non-inverted.
run? Like triggers? I never use a controller for this
Yeah,
game.
so I'm pushing down on the left.
Grenade.
Yep, there we go.
Oh,
Yeah, I suck.
caught that one in the mouth.
Yeah. So I'm pushing down on the left trigger now, right to zoom, and I'm gonna right trigger. Nope. Yep. I suck. So that's the problem.
But
Unfortunately,
at least you suck in real time without much lag.
Yeah, without much lag.
I suck with very little
Silver
lag.
lining. Silver lining, everyone.
So, oh wow, I didn't even know where that came from.
Why don't you give Kyle that?
I'm gonna give this
So
to
I
Kyle.
can suck even more.
Exactly.
That's all right.
Let me suck.
There'll be a bunch of people now trying to jump in and join our game. Young D404 asked, does it have a rumble feature?
The rumble feature. So we had to make a decision. Do we want to have badass speakers or do we want rumble control and
You just
a
had that
rumble pack?
cavity to work with, right?
We had that
You
cavity,
knew,
right?
You knew the resonance and everything else. that happened
Exactly.
with
So
the
if we
sound.
did the rumble, it would you know the cavity is filled with acoustic tubes.
Mm-hmm.
So if we had the rumble, it would be a problem for that. It was one or the other, and our decision was the sound's more important. But if we build enough bass into these speakers, there's your rumble essentially. So right. So when are you going to feel rumble? When when something's exploding, when you hit an obstacle or something like that.
Right.
The sound of that impact usually has enough bass to make the shield control rumble a little bit.
Right.
So it's kind of yes. So,
So
there is
the-
a rumble kind of component to it.
So the idea is rumble is almost the poor man's sound. So like if you didn't know, right?
Yeah,
like if you
actually.
didn't know how much bass was supposed to happen, you get a little brrr. in your
Exactly.
hand.
But now we're rumbling from the actual sound of it. So that's cool.
Yeah. This might be a rehashing of another question, but Ryan EVZ71 asks, will there eventually support what is it? Basically, will it eventually support older games that are PC games, older PC games, basically?
Sorry, I completely blank. I was completely not listening.
Oh, that's okay. No, it's he just asked, will this eventually have support for older PC games? My guess is that it's constantly refreshing. It just
Right,
depends.
right.
You guys
So-
are always working on this, I'm guessing.
Exactly. We're always working on this. Those older games, I'm going to assume they're Steam games.
Okay.
And you know, I'll just say what I said before, which is we are officially only supporting a subset of Steam games with controller support because we want to ensure top-notch performance on those games. But that's in the beta phase, right? So the bigger answer is that any Steam game you have with controller support should be good with Shield.
Just gotta maybe like run it a couple times. If there's no updates popping up or anything else, then it's good.
Exactly.
So it's essentially anything that would interrupt the normal process of it telling it, click the mouse button, it telling it, do this. If there's something to pop up or something to interrupt that,
Like a download process.
like a download process or something
or someone
like that.
gifting you something. Yeah,
Then that,
exactly.
then that would stop it.
Right,
So
but
that-
you know, I'm not sure if they were asking if it's a out of date game or an older game. Like
I'm thinking like older, like
like
rehashing
Crisis
of-
1. You know, or is
I
it
would
like
think
Crisis?
even older than that. I can't like Sonic was a good example, but that's already on Android.
Right,
so,
right. So
but
stuff on Steam, I can't even go with that.
So we can't guess what's not available yet. But the idea is, as games come in, you guys are constantly working on
Exactly.
it. Is that what I'm getting from
Yeah,
this?
exactly.
Okay.
So it's, if it's in Steam, yeah. If it's in Steam with controller support, yeah.
Okay, cool. Datus asks, does the Shield offer any great advantages to a Galaxy S4 paired with a decent Bluetooth controller?
Oh yeah, man. So I mean, shoot, where do I start? Decent Bluetooth controller. There are a lot of them out there, and I actually have used them. I mean, dude, the controls they're sick, right? I mean, there's no way you can compare like a Bluetooth game controller to this thing.
Absolutely.
First of all, so that's the benefit, right? The tactile response, the full-size game controls, the clickables, joysticks. You're not going to match that, right?
A screen that follows it too, because it's attached to it.
Exactly. But then some of these controllers actually have like clip-ins, so you can
slot.
actually clip the phone into it. So yeah, so it does work.
Okay.
So, but you're going to have a lot more benefits with Shield, right? We have the speakers. That's basically there's no other device that's going to come close to the sound output of these speakers. No other mobile device that can do it.
Right.
We don't benchmark our speakers against phones. Like, it'll blow a phone out of the water. We benchmark our speakers against like a jam box.
Oh.
So think of it in those terms, and yeah, the audio benefits there, the tactile benefits there. The display, it's a big 5-inch display, so sure, the S4 does have a big display, so maybe it's on par there.
Okay.
But as far as the games themselves, you have a lot of, I spoke to the Tegra optimized games before. Those don't exist on the Galaxy S4, unfortunately.
Right.
So you're gonna be much more limited in your gaming experience, right? Even if it's the same title, the graphical richness just isn't going to be there.
Okay.
Yep. And then if you PC game streaming is just not available on anything that's not called Shield. So.
Okay. So we have Slur Peaking asking a question. Are there any plans to optimize or develop mirrorcasting to home theater televisions, which is, of course, the wireless streaming to TVs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw.
So actually, if I think Kyle's busy playing there. But
1 second.
One
1 second.
1 second,
Will.
he's gaming.
You need it?
Yeah, actually. So I don't know if you guys want to overlay on top of the feed right now, but what I'm going to do is this is the Shield multifunction button, and this guy serves as the power button. And to answer that mirrorcast question, I think the best way to do it would be if we can show the screen now. I'm going to hold down the Shield button, which acts as the power button in this case. When I hold it down, it pops up the power dialog. And if you look at the bottom here, we have an option for Mirrorcast wireless display. So the answer is no, it's not coming. It's here.
It's already here.
It's already here.
Okay. Cool.
All right, you can get back to your gaming.
Thank you. I was dominating, by the way.
Yeah.
My team won.
They want to know also, I should say, what is this? Lil May 4M wants to know, is the Shield very drop resistant? There's a second part to that question, but first you can answer that.
Absolutely. So, it's one of those things where you have to hold the Shield to really understand. The pictures are one thing, but when you put your hands on Shield, you really get a sense for the build quality and the quality of the materials. There's nothing I can say to really give you that same experience as holding it. But I will say, yes, very drop resistant. We made sure we did a lot of durability testing on it.
Let's test it right now.
With it connected, dude?
Yeah.
At least disconnected from
as our live demo unit, I would want to say no, but actually I do have a backup unit. Maybe we can bring the backup unit out and maybe toss that around.
Have you ever seen those
Stay tuned for part
QVCs
2.
where like they'll do something to like test the quality of something?
Yep.
Like the guy with the sword, for instance, he'll smack, and then he stabs himself. It's like,
I feel like that's going to happen over here.
like something's gonna fall
something
and Kyle
bad's
gets
gonna happen.
electrocuted. We might need emergency medical attention.
It's in the
studio.
Shield case, actually.
When Shield attacks.
No, in there, in the main pocket. Yeah. So yeah, so it's very durable. FYI, if you find yourself if you find yourself near a Shield Experience Center, you can actually go in, find a Shield kiosk, and ask for a hands-on demo, and the Shield ambassador will open up the case and put it in your hands to give you an idea of what the durability looks like. Oh, hey. So I have an official Shield carrying case right here. It's reinforced nylon. You can see the texture on it if I go like that. It's got some cool design elements. The coolest thing being, yeah, there's a wrist strap too. The coolest thing is the charging access port in the back, so I can charge the device while it's closed. So that's pretty cool there.
I've got a 12,000 mAh battery that
Nice.
I carry around for events and stuff because my phone's always dying.
Yep.
Something. Actually, about 2 of them just so I could keep swapping them every night.
That's the way to do it.
But I'm assuming that I could just plug it into that. It has a 2.1 amp or 1 amp.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, you want to plug in the 2.1 amp.
Okay, cool.
Just to make sure, because the battery's so big, you want to make sure
Yeah.
that you're charging it. It'll take forever to
Nice.
charge this big battery if you're doing a 1 amp.
It would just
charger.
take forever.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't know how we're supposed to test this. Do I turn it on and I drop it and I show them that it's still turned on?
Dude, your Shield. You
Okay,
figured it out.
let's do it.
Meanwhile, Phil in the other room's going, "Oh Jesus, is he going to do it? He's going to do it."
Am I gonna do it? I'm gonna do it. Yeah. Well, my backup's not charged,
No one's
but
telling me no. So.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
He's not in the room. I just got a message.
you know what? Screw it. Let's do it with the live one.
Do it?
This one's out of battery. Yeah.
Let me close it.
It would probably be a good idea to also take that cable
Yeah,
out
'cause
first.
you
Wait,
could
is that going to affect your
Yeah,
capture?
but it will. But as soon as he plugs it back
Or
in, it
reconnect.
should pick it back
Okay.
up again.
Okay. So actually, maybe we should show the screen and show it running.
Yes.
Show Android running, right? So let's do that.
That it's not just like a live dummy unit.
Yeah, exactly. So
Nice switcheroo there, Kyle.
boom, right?
We actually had another Shield down here that's working just fine.
Yeah, as soon as he fixes it back up.
Got two of 'em.
Well, no, the other Shield I have here actually.
could drop it on the table, I
This
guess,
one
technically.
has no battery. Yeah.
No.
That was my
I
bad.
can charge that over here.
Yeah,
while we're
let's
waiting.
charge this one.
In case we actually do.
We should have
physically
dropped
break
the
it.
dead one and pulled out the
Yeah.
real one. Like, it actually charges it. Dropping it actually charges the Shield.
Okay, so yeah, it's live. Let's not cut away, right? So let's go wide. Yeah. So I'm just gonna close it because I've never dropped it with the screen open. I'm not sure it was made for that, but I mean, from here, if we just, that's not much, right? I mean, do we need to do it on the floor? I want to kind of make sure that they see it, right?
Paul, you got a hammer?
So, you got a hammer? Oh, you felt that, right?
Yeah,
I just
I
don't
did.
want to hit my
hurt me.
my laptop. That was
As you break your laptop with the
Over
Shield.
there.
Drop it. Can you
Over
see
here?
it in the corner? Yeah. Just
How high?
yeah, that's fine. Whatever.
good?
Yeah, just drop it, man.
Just a real life demonstration,
Yeah.
real life situation. Oh my God, you broke it! It's
broke
just the
the
tag.
tag.
It's just the tag. That way
So-
you can trick all your friends that you broke it.
That's right. So this is magnetic, so it's just gonna go right back on there. Snap right on. Good to go. But
Now,
I feel like I'm doing an infomercial
show
right now.
the-
That's like okay. So boom, right there.
The
it is a
screen's
little
all cracked.
infomercial.
The screen's all cracked.
Uses the air we breathe.
But wait, if you order now, no. So yeah, everything works. It's good to go. Very, very durable. I mean, I don't know how else we can show it.
So I've got a question, and we're just because we're running so long now. I'm dying to know if it's going to work with Origin, and I know we're talking Steam, and
Steam,
you know
yeah.
what? I'm big on Steam, but there's certain games that EA is not going to let me have on Steam.
Right.
Battlefield 3, for instance.
Right.
Is that going to work with this? Will it work with this?
So we're working all the time with EA, with Valve. So there are ongoing discussions right now that I don't want to comment on anything we haven't announced.
Okay.
But keep your hopes up.
There will be much rejoicing if we see it.
Oh, I'm sure there will be, and
Yeah.
we're hoping to make gamers pretty happy.
I mean,
but
don't get me wrong, Gabe Noel, you're awesome, dude. Seriously, you pack it in, and you always come up with some crazy
Totally.
ideas, and you just execute, and that is phenomenal. The fact that he's always about gamers, I really want to see EA do something similar, at least for this product, because it would show that they're really open to something like that.
Totally.
I'm sure you guys are all in talks about it, so don't. If you guys are talking about it, don't worry about it. Sign the contract.
Yep. Yep.
But get it going. Bottom line is that's awesome. So let me try and skim through some really good questions because I still have a ton left, and we're already at 55 minutes.
Oh man, so let me
You have a
stop
couple?
talking so much and just bang those out.
Okay.
They should do a lightning round.
Lightning round. Lightning round on questions. Go, go, go.
Yeah, let's see if we can knock these out really, really quickly. All right, Frazzlebob asks, are NVIDIA going to let mobile phone manufacturers like Apple use NVIDIA chips in the future?
Well,
Yeah, that's
actually, I don't know how to. The short answer is Apple's already using our graphics cards. I mean, our GPUs. So, is that the question? Yes. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Game Winners 42 asks, are there any plans to map touch buttons functions into the buttons? Can buttons be mapped into emulators? Actually, we mentioned emulators
Yeah.
earlier.
So
It's
yes.
already working.
Yep.
So yeah.
Totally.
But the other one is, are there plans to map touch screen functions to the buttons?
As in macro?
I'm not sure,
I'm not
actually.
sure. Well, I mean, here, let's show this. So I'm not sure what touchscreen buttons they're talking about, but I mean, if you're swiping like that, I mean, that's.
Well, then there's the keyboard too.
I
Right?
mean, so I'm using the bumpers here, and that's mapped to their. Oh, keyboard. Okay, so let's actually show that then. So keyboard. There are a few different ways to get to the keyboard. Like I said, you could tap on them, obviously. But I mean, you have stuff like, I don't know if you're able to see this on.
Yeah.
Are you seeing me delete that?
Oh yeah.
So I'm using the X button to delete there. So that's that. At that level, yeah, it is mapped to that. Another cool thing is the right joystick here brings up a cursor. So I can use that to say click down on this, click down on that.
So if you like web browsing or whatever.
Exactly, small links or even the keyboard and then back out like that. So yeah, the controls are completely mapped out, you know, regardless of where you're at.
Okay, cool. Moving right along. Ryan E71 asks, does it include a built-in microphone for things like Skype? Yes, it does, and the microphone's right underneath, between the two speakers and right underneath the monitor, or the screen.
You see that little, it's that little thing. Yep, that little indentation right there, right in the center there.
That cute little nub.
Yep.
All right, Young D404 asks, can you use the controller for the Xbox? Can you use as a controller for the Xbox?
Oh, well, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no.
You
Nope.
can try.
You
Yeah.
can try, yeah.
No one's stopping.
There'll probably be hacks at some point. I'm sure someone.
Well,
will
you know,
like-
that's why we're talking to developers. You know, we want to make we want them to do crazy things. Maybe not exactly that. Maybe not controlling an Xbox controller, but we want them to do
Microsoft
crazy
is
things like
face-palming
this.
right now. No! We just got done talking to AMD. Noah PC Freak asks, does the Shield require Wi-Fi? Technically, it doesn't require it at all.
It doesn't
no?
require it at all. What you're going to want Wi-Fi for is streaming movies, streaming music. I mean, downloading that stuff and playing your PC game streaming.
PC streaming. Yep.
PC streaming is going to require Wi-Fi, but I mean, it's a standalone device. You can use it with all the content that's on there.
Do you want a game while we're talking? Just to
Sure.
have something else to look at.
Gladly.
Let's see. Does it have a camera? Thanks, guys, for hanging in there. We had a couple technical difficulties. I ran back as quick as I could and fix it. Paul was over there, like, rubbing people's shoulders and saying it'll be okay. Vu was crying a little bit, but we're okay now. So
Our stream went down?
yeah.
Wow.
Yes, the stream went down. So let me flip this back, actually, since we're looking at a disconnected game. The idea is still to just knock out as many questions as I possibly
Yes.
can in the shortest period of time as I possibly can. So we already answered about the keyboard and mouse. Then we also have a question from Chad. I can't read it. Chaddiscroft22. How many stream processors does it have, and how many are assigned to the GPU? Well, there's actually 3 questions in there. And when we see 4.3.
Okay, so let me go back in reverse order. Your Android Jelly Bean 4.3 is coming very soon. Give us it's a matter of weeks. So give us more than give us several weeks.
Okay.
We'll get that out ASAP. You know, it's an unskinned version of Android, so we can turn these around real fast. As far as how many GPUs, is that right? How many GPUs do we use for PC streaming? We use one GPU, and it takes advantage of all cores in that GPU. So if you have an SLI rig going on, we're only taking advantage of one GPU right now.
Right. So if you have 2 760s and SLI, it's just going to take the main one and use that.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
And how many stream processors does this have? I don't know what this means. Is a Shield? Is a PC? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the answer to that question is.
Okay.
Anyway.
So if we're talking about the graphics card, it would be whatever the graphics card has.
Exactly.
In terms of the SoC, does it have any stream processors in Tegra 4?
Yeah, so you know, Tegra 4 GPU is a GeForce class GPU. It's got 72 GPU cores.
Okay.
So yeah.
Cool. Moving right along, Engineer09 wants to ask, can you use an external microphone with it? Yes, you can.
Yep.
It's just going to take a 3.5 millimeter single jack to do it, so similar to the ones you would find on the end of an iPhone plug
Exactly,
or-
just your standard headphone jack.
Yeah.
Yeah, easy. And what kind of audio is it? Is it stereo, mono, 5.1? 5.1.
Awesome. Then Con wants to ask, does it have tilt control like 6-axis?
You know, there is, yeah, so it's got 6-axis support, but I mean, I can't imagine. Yeah, sure. The answer is yes, but I mean, I prefer the controls over tilt anyway. So.
Okay. Mr. Crackerman asks, is the audio output of the Shield mono stereo 5.1?
Oh, yeah, that's 5.1, yep.
And 7. That's 5.1, okay. What W2F Sloth asks, any plans for a 3D support of the Shield like a 3DS?
We can't talk. I can't talk on unannounced products.
NDA. Okay.
NDA.
Glitchhawk asks, what is the supply and demand like? How long will those of us who did not receive one have to wait?
So right now, where we stand, we just launched. It's looking like forecasted. The demand is outpacing supply right now. So we are rushing to meet demand. Right now, if you place an order, it's ships about a couple weeks out. So yeah, that's where we stand right now.
All right. CAG66 asked, can the Shield stream from wireless hard drive like the Corsair Voyager?
How would you stream from a hard drive?
I'm not sure if I understand the question either, so I'm going to
It
skip.
would just use Wi-Fi. It's usually.
Oh, use it as a NAS, kind of?
It's,
Like a network drive?
it's like the storage itself acts as a Wi-Fi access point. So it
Oh,
could-
like that
imagine
one
it's
we
like
had?
any
Oh yeah,
other
so if you can connect it over Wi-Fi, yeah, for sure. And if it's got software built in to browse I've never done that, but I mean, it should work.
Yeah, either way, because it's Android.
Yeah, if,
So
if
anything
it works
can
with Android,
do.
it works, yeah.
Yeah. I Can Help asks, will it work with Bluetooth keyboards and mice? We actually answered that question earlier.
And yes, Bluetooth keyboards, mice, yes.
That's a yes to that. All right. And somebody asked, I can't read the name, how hot does it get?
I don't know, man. I've never measured it, but not uncomfortable. I mean, it'll heat up. Any device is going to heat up with extended use, but it's not uncomfortable. It won't burn you or anything like that.
Okay, perfect. Then, actually, you know what? We had a question on Facebook about this, and I wanted to mention it. A young girl asked, would it work with her AMD-based Radeon card?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, it would not.
No, so we built in specific technology, specific architecture into our Kepler-class GPUs that allow it to do this really lag-free streaming. That's our IP. It doesn't exist anywhere else outside of Kepler GPUs, so that's going to be a resounding no.
Okay, perfect.
Sorry, young girl.
Sorry, young girl.
Get an NVIDIA card.
Wicked Kitty Boss asks, can I connect it through an HD PVR, or is the signal other than HDMI? No, actually, we're using the Intensity Pro, the Blackmagic Intensity Pro. So if it accepts it there with certain settings, I had to set it to 720 at 60, 720p 60, yeah. And that's the only way I could capture it. If I set it to anything else, it'll just be a black screen. So you'll have to figure it out for the HD PVR or whatever you're using. And we just want to double clarify something. I know I'm getting told right now that a lot of people are asking about Origin compatibility, so we're just going to repeat that.
Right, so right now where we stand is we're launching with PC Stream game streaming as a beta service. Right now it supports stream games with controller support. We have a selection of titles that we certify right now. Once it exits beta, we're going to, it'll be compatible with a lot more of those games, Steam games that have controller support. As far as outside of Steam, there are ongoing discussions right now that I'm going to steer clear of right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're in. I'm going to speak for Will because I'm not official. So anything I say could be totally discounted by Will. So that's his protection. What I'm gathering from this is that they are in talks with EA, and for whatever reason, the contract's not signed yet, but eventually it will be, and that's pretty much what I see out of this. You guys see what you want, and I could be totally wrong about it, but that's just me reading between the lines. And you don't have to say a word. So Chad Ashcroft 22 asks, will you update this in the future to allow streaming off another Wi-Fi network? In other words, this was something asked before, so
right.
Can you play it off the internet, a high-speed internet?
So can you stream PC games off the internet? Right now, no, you need Wi-Fi. I can't talk about future products again, but we did demo NVIDIA Grid, which is our cloud gaming system, servers filled with GPUs running high-end graphics, games with high-end graphics, streaming over the internet to thin clients like MacBook Pros, like tablets, and we actually even demoed it on Shield. Mm-hmm. So if you go to youtube.com/NVIDIA and you go and you should Google Grid, you'll see that demo showing Street Fighter actually being streamed from the cloud to Shield. So. Yeah.
So it's in the mix.
It's in the mix.
It's in the mix, okay. Jock Reborn asks, can the mobile GTX series, such as the GTX 760M, stream the same way as the desktop GTX line? I know the answer to that is no.
So right now you need a GTX 650 desktop or higher to take advantage of PC Game Stream Beta. It is a beta service, so keep that in mind. Everything we're talking about is beta. When we exit beta, things will change.
Solidify.
Yep, exactly.
Okay. The Many2114 asks, since there's a grill, an exhaust, and an internal fan, will it gather dust over time inside the unit?
I'm sure it's entirely possible. Even if there wasn't a fan, that would happen. I mean, if you open up your phone's battery, if you have a battery cover and you open that up, you're going to see a bunch of lint inside.
Yeah.
That's just how it happens.
Okay. Yeah. Young D404 asks, will this run Fraps? So that would probably be
Well,
unless it's running off the PC.
Yeah, I mean,
Unless
how do you
there's an
run that
Android
on Android? I don't know if there's an Android version. I
Yeah,
don't think
Android
there is.
operating system. So if it comes out on Android,
If it's on Android, yes, but I don't know of Fraps for Android. So.
Yeah. V-Lady Kingpin 27 asks, I hear a lot of people trying to compare Shield to a PS4 and Xbox One. Do you think that's a fair comparison? It's not like the PS Vita gets compared to consoles as far as price point.
Right, I don't think that's a fair comparison.
Yeah. Full console, full standalone.
Right, full console, full standalone from a hardware perspective, and gigaflops. Maybe there's a comparison there, but I mean, they're completely different experiences. This is a portable device, so it's not. I would say no, it's not fair. There are a lot of people comparing it to a PS Vita or a 3DS. So I think that comparison is a little more apt.
Mega64 does a really funny video about this. They have a PS3 and a gas-powered generator and a TV, and he's wheeling around downtown San Diego, and you should. He's like, I'm trying to play my game here. He's inside. It's hilarious. You got to watch that. The next question comes from Ahergs, that's how I pronounce it. Will Shadowplay work while the PC is streaming to the Shield? That's
a great question. I wish I knew the answer to that question. I don't know the answer to that question.
Rachel,
I don't
you
see
ask
why not.
Phil? Yeah.
I don't see why not, because it's built into the Kepler. The architecture to support Shadowplay is built into Kepler.
Because I'm just thinking, because it's doing the H64 encoding for the Shield, it's actually a good point, because then it would also be doing it for that. Maybe it's doing it in the same point, and it's just writing it to the hard drive as well as streaming it out.
Yeah, unfortunately I don't know the answer, so I'd want to not answer that one. Sorry, guys.
So I want to say that the follow-up to that question is another segue to someone else's question. Is Largo Sensei asks, when do we see an update to it? When are we going to see an update for the Shield? I'm assuming software, but
yeah, software. I mean, we're updating it all the time. Yeah. So, for example, when you get your Shield and you open it up and you go check for that software, the OTA update over the air, you should see one as soon as you open it up. So, we're doing it all the time, basically, and we push them out. They're not controlled by anybody. We don't have to worry about skin version of Android getting in the way. So these updates are coming hard and fast.
If it's anything like your drivers for your cards, I expect it to just keep flying out.
All the time, man, all the time. Yeah. Especially that 4.3 Jelly Bean 4.3 update. So that's in the works as well.
That's the big one. Okay. Breaking Adam asks, are you better off running your streaming PC games in 720p as the Shield can only display 720p, or are there benefits to running the same game in 1080p from the PC? Now, my guess is that you're going to want to leave your PC the way it is. That's the way this was designed. You don't need to dumb down your PC in order to do it. Am I correct?
No, that's exactly right. So run your PC with everything cranked up if your GPU can handle it. And
well, GFE has the experience to figure out exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So you don't even have to think about it. Click the button and optimize it.
Click the optimize button. It'll give you the best resolution possible. When it streams to Shield, Shield will display 720p because the display is a 720p display. But you get all those other effects, right? You get the physics, the TXAA, all the cool, the textures and the lighting.
Yeah,
so,
I've been told you guys worked on it for like 2 years, just setting up systems and recording data and seeing what works the best. That's so awesome.
For GeForce experience, right?
For GeForce experience.
We took
optimization.
Yeah, we put a lot of work into that optimization feature.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question then.
Yep, Paul's got a question.
If you're streaming then from the PC to the Shield, is GeForce Experience adjusting the game settings so that the game that's streamed to the Shield is scaled down to 720 and?
No. So when you're
okay.
So the question was, when you're streaming your game from the PC to Shield and you use GeForce Experience to optimize your settings, are those optimizations going to be optimized for Shield or for your PC? Those optimizations are for the PC.
Okay.
So it's going to optimize your PC for best experience because the performance of your PC is what you're going to see on Shield. Right, so it's more important to optimize for your PC, and all the effects come through. It's just going to be a little lower resolution on the Shield display.
I already know the answer to this question, but LOLOLO asks, will there ever be support for older graphics cards? And the problem with that is it's hardware based.
It's hardware based, man. So that's the thing. So there's specific architecture inside these Kepler GPUs that allows this streaming to happen with no lag. So those older cards just don't have it. If if you were to even try, I mean, the experience just wouldn't be there.
Yeah. It just has to be hardware and
It
coding.
has to be, yep. The hardware and coding is important.
I am Mr. Sam82 asked, any idea when it would be released internationally? I think you were asked that question earlier.
Yeah, we're concentrating on the U.S. and Canada right now. Can't really comment on outside these markets.
Loud Rob asks, will it have flash drive support?
Oh yeah. So like I mentioned, it doesn't have a full-size USB port, but if you get an adapter down to micro USB, yes.
Okay, perfect.
As well as the micro SD XC card slot, right? So.
Because you don't even have to use USB if you don't want to. You can just use.
Yeah, you just pop in the SD card and you're good to go.
Get those at Newegg.com.
On Newegg.
Then you can go to the next question here, which is Fernian, and he asked, how's the audio quality, 16-bit, 24-bit, and the sampling rate?
Wow, that's a great question.
Let me refer to my notes.
Let me see if I can find an answer for that one. Let's come back to that one.
Okay. While you're looking for that, let's see the next question. Noah PC Freak asks, does the mic carry over into in-game chat? Dang, that was actually a really good question. So like we're playing Black Ops, if I'm talking in that microphone, would I be able to set it up to automatically transmit? I'm assuming that's based on the Android device now and not necessarily the PC, because the PC is over here, and unless you're transcoding the audio output here and then also emulating that microphone on this end, it's not going to be picked up. So my solution to that was actually using Voxer and then running that in the background. But I didn't actually have a chance to test that.
Yeah, that's a great question too. I'm not sure about the exact answer for that one.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah.
So then later when you're listening to this recorded, my main question is, if I have Mumble or TeamSpeak or Ventrilo app installed on that and it's running in the background, could I be PC streaming and then be able to communicate via just talking?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have to hit a button.
I mean, not yeah as in yes, but I totally get the question.
Okay.
Man, I wish I could tell you one way or the other. I have a hunch that the answer is yes. I don't want to.
I'm glad I stumped you, but I've just been so busy I couldn't precursor this at all. I'm sorry, man. But you're still looking on the sampling rate, and I got that microphone question answered. So Guri asked, is the NVIDIA encoder the same for all cards, and how powerful is it? I'm assuming they mean the H264 encoder, since we're talking about Shield.
And how powerful is it?
Yeah, that's tough to gauge power. So if you can do shadow play, which means anything your screen sees, depending on what resolution you set it to, it's going to take whatever that screen is and then output it. So if I've understood it correctly, as it's creating each picture and as it's painting it, every pixel and all the shaders and everything else as it's doing, it's also encoding it and thus writing it to the hard drive in that H264 encoding. So if I had it whatever size, whatever your CPU could handle, or your computer, excuse me, could handle, then your GPU is going to be able to equally run that. So if your system couldn't run it at 4K on your system at home, then you probably couldn't shadow play it to 4K.
Right.
So in terms of the power, it would be dependent on which one. So if you get like a Titan or something like that, you'd be able to handle it.
Exactly.
Or 780.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope that answered your question, Guri. Let's see. Ginger MC asks, does Shield reduce frames per second, or would you be getting the same frames on your Shield as your PC? So it's kind of a...
It's one-to-one. Yep, it's one-to-one.
Because it's just a video being played to you.
Right.
It really is just a small amount of latency, and you said it was between 50 to 75. You guys are aiming for 75?
Worst case. Yeah.
Worst case. So 50 is what you get, and 75 is the worst case scenario in terms of milliseconds lag between the motion of me moving to the left and it showing it.
Right. And again, to put that in reference, the round trip time between a console, game controller to the box to the TV, you're looking at 100 milliseconds. That's generally not noticeable, right? And you can change timing on that as well. If you're not noticing 100 milliseconds, you're probably not going to notice 75 milliseconds. And that's our goal, to aim well below that threshold.
Gotcha. Okay, Evil Vengeance asks, is there ever any chance of non-NVIDIA support, such as with AMD cards? So we just answered this too.
Right. You have to have an NVIDIA Kepler class GPU, basically to make this.
It's your intellectual property, basically.
That's right.
So it's not going outside.
I mean, we put a lot of work into it. It's like
it's your little baby.
Yeah, it's our little baby. We got to make sure that it's in our cards for sure. Yeah.
Awesome.
So you want a GeForce card?
Okay. Goat Job. This is the last question, unless I get anything else from the background. Will the Shield work properly if I import it from the US to Europe? You did answer this question earlier, but I'm going to let you do it again.
Yeah, so, again, right now we are only launching in the US and Canada. If you do import it to Europe, I mean, I don't see why it shouldn't work.
Okay.
It's not.
Like you're not stopping international downloads, in other words, of the newest drivers to whatever, install GFE and run with it.
Right.
So
So
you're not stopping it, but you're not selling it.
right, exactly. So we're not supporting it. So if you do have issues, I mean, we're not going to.
You got to mail it to your buddy in New York and have him ship it into
Exactly.
NVIDIA. Okay, I got it. Actually, I got one last question.
One more.
Yeah, V Lady Kingpin 27 asked one last question. It is from a graphical standpoint. Can the oh great, now she's typing things and it's messing me up. From a graphical standpoint, can the Shield outperform the PS Vita? I know the Shield can stream PC games, but I would like to know if how the Shield performs as a standalone versus the PS Vita.
Without being too much of a no, it blows Vita out of the water. Yeah.
And there you have it.
There you have it. It'll blow it out of the water.
There you have it.
By far. I mean.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like we said before, right? That's an apples to apples. The Vita versus the Shield.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, our Apple's way bigger and more powerful.
Okay.
It's not like that Apple.
Not like that Apple. Yeah. Exactly.
Not like this.
This is not an Apple, man.
It's
What
not.
are you talking
It's
about?
blue
Oh, yeah.
tape. I love blue tape. Blue tape's an awesome
My blue
product.
tape laptop.
That's right.
The blue.
All right, guys.
And
well,
that's it, right?
Yeah. I mean, is there anything else you want to add to this?
Yeah, actually, so a few things. I think, if you guys
Oh,
want...
we didn't answer the last question for that guy for the bit rate and the
The audio sampling
sampling
quality,
rate.
I just don't know the answer to that one, unfortunately.
So at some point or another, there'll be a spec sheet somewhere. You guys
Yep,
put it up.
absolutely. And, feel free to hit us up on Twitter, at NVIDIA Tegra, or maybe even at Newegg. I'm sure
Yeah.
you guys can forward the question to me.
Yeah, we could do that too.
Yep. Or hit us up on our Facebook pages, and we'll find that answer for you offline. If you want more information, shield.nvidia.com is where you want to go. Right now, you'll go to the page and it'll offer you a Shield purchase, but you'll also find optional accessories like the Shield carrying case and optional custom tags as well. I think it's a good idea to go to youtube.com/Newegg, right? To check out.
YouTube.com/Newegg is always the place you want to go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's Newegg TVs. If you're on our Twitch and you didn't know that we have a YouTube, you definitely want to check out our YouTube channel. That's of course youtube.com/Newegg. I also want to add that I could never have done any of this without Kyle.
Kyle. Hey, man. Pleasure's all mine. Will, thanks for coming here, sharing this
Yeah,
information
Kyle,
with us.
thanks for the opportunity, man.
Absolutely. Thank you for, donating this unit to me. I really appreciate it. You guys have been great. So, probably going to head out soon.
Then the other one, I heard you were supposed to be giving me that one. I'm not sure if that's still the case. Will you?
Yeah, you know what? I think we're done now. So I don't know. It's time to cut the feed, right?
I'm just gonna keep fishing for more. No, I'm kidding. To all of our listeners, thank you guys so much, and all of our viewers, I should say, since we're not a radio show, thank you so much for watching. Will, once again, thanks for gracing us with your presence.
Thanks for having me on the show, man.
Yeah, absolutely. We're really excited to see what happens next. And as we were saying before, there's going to be developers out there developing stuff, and
Yeah.
the Underground's going to come out with some stuff because it's of course using Android. So we
Absolutely.
can expect a lot of things to come out of this. So I can't wait to be blown away with what happens next.
Yeah, maybe we'll have another Q&A.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely. Well, anytime you want to come in here, you're always welcome, Will.
Great.
So, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching. Definitely subscribe and follow us on our Twitch channel, which you're already watching on us, or our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Newegg, and we'll definitely see you guys soon.